saw a picture recently of Jesus talking to a disciple saying, "Follow me." And the disciple replies, "What, do you mean on Facebook?" And Jesus says, "No, I literally mean follow me." "Oh, you must mean on Twitter then," replied the disciple. But in this section, Jesus is explaining to his disciples the nature of what he came to do, that he had to suffer and die and be raised to life on the third day. But poor Peter just doesn't get this. He thinks that if Jesus really is the Messiah, he shouldn't have to suffer. He thinks that Jesus should just take what is rightfully his and establish himself as king without dying on the cross. But in saying this, Peter is echoing the temptation that Jesus received from Satan in chapter 4, where Satan literally tempts Jesus with the whole world in exchange for his soul. But there's another point Jesus is making too. He's saying that if someone would choose to follow Jesus, it must be wholehearted, and they must be prepared for hardship and suffering, even suffering to death. And they must be prepared for that. They must deny themselves and take up their cross. A disciple of Jesus has to resist the temptation of Satan to go for the easy life. We must avoid that attitude which says, "I will follow you, Jesus, and do what you say, but only if life isn't too uncomfortable or hard." Jesus is clear that we must not long for that material wealth and comfort, but to follow him in obedience. So what verse 26 is saying is that we have two choices. We can either choose him now and have a life that may well entail suffering, but which gives us access to that heavenly communion. Or we can choose earthly rewards now instead of him and endure an eternity without him. When we put it like that, doesn't it make sense to choose obedience to Jesus today?